Hi Flosstube, it's Nerissa from Nerissa's Stitching Lifestyle in Christchurch, New Zealand. Welcome. Today is the 16th of October 2025 and this is Flosstube number 60. I have lots to show you today. I've been a wee bit busy with my needles, a wee bit busy with work as well. But we don't worry about that stuff, do we? Okay, so I have my list. I have whips to show you, sampler whips to show you today. I have a major sampler finish. I have Christmas whips and some Christmas finishes to show you that I've done in the last few weeks. Like I said last time, my Christmas bug is hit and I'm working through my projects and working through my Christmas stitching, because next week we start the decorating, otherwise it won't be ready in time for Jingle Ball. Okay, so we'll start with my sampler whips. Okay, so my first sample I'm going to show you today is my red thread a day. And I'm going to bob up and down because the table's really low. Okay, so my red thread a day is Louisa Coolmore from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. This was one of my stash sampler starts for this year. This one I started on the 1st of August. And been stitching on it every day, I think bar one, but I did make up that day. And oops, I might just stretch it a little wee bit too far. Here is where I am at. And just by doing, I say a thread a day, but it is normally, you know, that couple of threads. Sometimes it is only one thread, that is all I get time for. So this gets worked on in the morning. This is being stitched on 56 count cream swag art using 103 silk threads. I'm doing my colour 648, which is the nice burgundy. So what have I worked on? And I forgot to pull up my photo from last time. I know I've worked over here this morning. There was this row here and this part that started this one here. Yesterday morning was two of those, and the day before was 2 of those. I've done this part. I know I finished down here, the tree here, and part of this one that needed to be added in. I've worked up and started bringing across the alphabets more. We're pretty much at a page finish there. So I'm just trying to, if I finish a motif on my thread a day, then if it's not something quick or easy or whatever that I want to start underneath, sometimes it's a bigger one and I had enough of that, but I've still got thread, I'll jump up and I'll work on alphabet letters just to finish the thread off, so it kind of get progress all the way along. I haven't put name in here yet because that's where Louisa's name is, at the bottom here, and I'm still debating whether I am putting Louisa's name or my name in here yet. Haven't decided to bring it down, but loving how this is coming together. I reckon definitely be finished before the end of the year, because there's not a lot left to go. The alphabets, of course, and what else have we got? The other half of the leaves. So the other half of the leaves here. Oh, there's a motif under there. This part, this corner. So there's not a lot left down the bottom, and then just the rest of the alphabets. There's a couple of big rows of alphabets. These ones here, they take a little bit longer than what, you know, these little guys do. So that takes a little bit longer to get through, but, and a couple of little missing pieces here. But definitely, I reckon, definitely by the end of the year, Louisa will be finished, if not well before. So happy with my progress on Louisa. Don't want to lose my little thread. Kitty is not Kitty, Saneem is around somewhere. Okay, another one that I started for Stash Sampler Starts, and I put an evening into. It was Ann Morrison, 1830, from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. This one was the Traditional Stitches 20th Anniversary Stitch Along for their 20th anniversary a few years ago. I missed out on it, but a lovely viewer sent this to me so that I could stitch it, and I just love it. She's gorgeous, and I haven't got a lot done, but I did put in some more threads. It's done with the 103 silks, and I am doing this on Antique Lace 46 count from number 12 Stitch Co on Etsy, and there's the colour details. So I put in the green here and the blue along the bottom here. Literally that was like an hour and a half stitching. I've been working some big shifts lately and just absolutely tired at the end of the night, and I still want to pick up my stitching, but I'm not getting very far with some of them, and that's okay. I'm okay with that, because I know I have other nights where I can stitch for hours on end and have no problems. Loving that. Still happy to have put a stitch into them. As we all know, one stitch at a time will get these guys done. And here's just some of the colours for the 103 silks, and they're just in my little wee pouch that goes with my project bag that I made. Here's the project bag that they sit in. Love this fabric. I bought this fabric several years ago, and it just was sitting there waiting to decide what I was doing with it. I didn't buy much because they didn't have much left, so hence the height of my project bag. Would have liked it a little bit taller, but I didn't want to put another colour with it. Okay, so that was Hannah. Okay. Sorry, not Hannah. That one was Ann Morrison. My goodness. You can tell I've been working long hours when my brain stops working like that. Righty ho, so another one that I pulled out that it was part of my Stash Sampler Starts. I guess because they're fresh, they're in my mind. Heart and Home Patchwork. So I spent another evening just working on this one as well. They're only being slowly stitched on. I'm in no hurry with them. I'm using the DMC threads for this. I am working on 40 count vintage country mucker from Zweigart, and here is where I'm at now. So I've worked on the berries around the vine, and as you can see I've got a thread here. The called for colour is, if you can see it, there's a tiny little berries here and they don't stand out. So I'm coming back over my top leg with this next kind of light colour. It's a light cream, and I'm just adding the extra stitch in just to help them pop slightly. I don't want them popping lots, I just want them just enough that they can be seen, whereas these guys weren't being seen. Even in the naked eye, they're very hard to see. So I've just got that few up there to do that second, or that last leg of stitch. Okay, I worked on a couple of red threads, so put these 3 letters in here and the 2 down here. The one in the middle that's missing is done in the brownie colour, which I haven't pulled that out again yet. And that is all I got done on that particular night. But one stitch at a time, we'll get it finished. Happy just to pull it out, put a few threads in it. You'll understand why as you see the next lots of samplers as they come up, because I've spent a lot of time on some of these. Okay, my next whip that I worked on, which is one of my 5 that I wanted finished by the end of the year is Hannah Campbell, 1838, from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. Love Hannah, she's so beautiful. This is going to be named after one of my grandmothers. I'm just not sure which one yet. I've still got a few choices left that I haven't, but I worked on Hannah and got quite a bit done for Hannah. So I finished coming around the border. I had the green and I've put in the purples. I'm calling them purple. It's probably a violet colour. So that's all now done all the way around. I had the top half done, but I've finished the bottom half off. I then finished this row of the reds off and made this heart here. I also have come down and put in the red here, because this is all the same red. Red here, red here, red here. I had those ones. So I'm just trying to get some of the border completed. I didn't have the headspace to work on the 1/1 in here, so I just wanted a change and decided I wanted to just do easy, which was the fill in, and then once that was done it was like, okay, what next? So like I said, a little bit of finishing, a little bit of finishing. I did put the, no, I had the blue in there. I put the gold in as well, ready for the placement of those coming up, because there's still some more red ones to come up here, which I'll try and get done next time. I think my plan with this is hopefully on the right headspace day is still the 1/1 and some of the motif in the border. I'd like to get the border and the 1/1 finished before I start in all of this stuff. But I am loving how Hannah is coming out. She's so beautiful. She is stitched on, I'm just going to pop her there. She is stitched on Vintage Sand Dune Lakeside Linen, 46 count, and I am using the 103 silk threads. But definitely enjoying my projects at the moment. Okay, so I've had a couple of weekends since I last seen you, and one of them we worked on Sarah Braizear from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. This was Queen of the May from 2018. Yes, the first Queen of the May. I believe she's out of print and you can't get her unless you can get her on second-hand market, but my gosh, love this. Absolutely love this sampler. I am, yeah, not quite 3/4 of the way, I don't believe. So when I worked on this, I didn't get a lot of stitching time. Just going back to find her project bag. So yeah, it was a little bit of a short stitchy day. 56 count white Zweigart, and I'm using DMC threads. Okay. Now this is where we're at. And there may not look like a lot of change, but I worked up here and these guys here, not a lot. That was what I got done. So I started bringing the greenie of the border down. Like I said, didn't get very far, but I'm happy with my progress. This will be picked up again on another weekend, as it is every second weekend, and will be worked on. May have to give it a night during the week yet, I'm not sure, but this is definitely one of my 5 that needs to be finished. So loving how Sarah Braizear is coming out. I can't wait to have this finished. She's so gorgeous. There's a good iron, I know that. And all the cat hair removed. Anyone else have that where their pets like to share their projects with them? Okay, so my last sampler whip was, sorry, my hair just keeps to be all static today. Ann Diaper, 1826, Hands Across the Sea samplers. Now this is another one of my 5 to be finished this year. And Ann did get some love into her this fortnight. Oh, I just love looking at her, she's so beautiful. Okay, she has been stitched on 36 count fabric that I dyed myself, and I am stitching with the DMC threads. And here is where Ann is. There's the full picture. And what did I work on? I'm gonna come forward. So this time round I finished off the plant here and started filling in the flowers. I had the base, the greenery and all that done. Started doing part of the outside last time, finished off the outside of each flower, which if I come closer you'll be able to see that with the blueies. And then I've started filling in with the pink. This little wee guy got put in. What else did I work on? Oh, some more of the words up the top. See, I know there was something else. So another row of over 1 for the verse, and started coming into this one here. So we're getting there. I try and do a thread of over 1 when I start stitching on it, work on the fun stuff, and possibly come back for another stitch thread up here for the other over 1. But she's another beauty. She's going to look gorgeous. Still a wee bit to go yet. Still going to do the other tree. There's another one of these. I'm not putting Ann's name in here. I haven't decided yet what I'm putting in here. If not, I might follow it up with motifs. Haven't decided. Still got to bring flowers down and around, and down this other side here as well. So a wee bit of stitching. But fun to do. 1 thread over 2 on 36. Okay, so that was Ann. So that is all of my whips. I'm going to pause you for a second while I do a bit of maneuvering, and I'm going to bring over my finish. Okay, so I've done my maneuvering around, and my finish. My finish is on 40 count cream Zweigart. It has been a 2-year project. It was started in the middle of September 2023, and I finished it on Sunday, just been. So just about 25 months, not full-time stitching on it, but at least 1 day a week most of the time. Sometimes 2. This year its goal has been every second weekend it's had stitching put into it, which has really helped. The sampler is the longest or tallest sampler I have ever stitched. It is up to my chest height when it's on standing, so she's a big girl. She's about 1 meter long, and yeah, I just love it. I have really enjoyed stitching the sampler. The sampler was stitched using shaker threads, so classic or gentle art, sorry, shaker threads, and DMC. Absolutely love this. So 1 over 2 for my threads, and my finish is examplars from the heart, and they scent. So that's what it should look like. I did make a few personalizations, and she is done. So if I step way where my feet are going. There we go. There's the full picture. I know you're not going to be able to see much detail with that. But that is her completely done. We'll bring her in there and we'll have a little look at her. Okay. So, I said plain swagger. I'm so sorry. 40 count hog bristle. The tag is on the back. I'm thinking of another project. 40 count hog bristle from Fox and Rabbit. Righty ho. So, I started at the top and I've worked my way down. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you will have already seen the little short video that I did on the night that I finished. I was so excited and so pleased to have it done. Just absolutely over the moon. So here we go. Top, the angel scene, into the tree of life and Adam and Eve and the apple, the snake, he's here, angel, just gorgeous little elements in this. Peacocks, bowl, berry bowl, love that. Alphabet. Now this is where I did some changes. So I left it out here and I put in 2025 because that's when I finished it. I did go back up and add in the 1 to 10, which was originally in the oh my gosh, in the pattern. I had left it out because I was gonna originally put my name out there and then I've decided not to. And I put the 1 to 10 back in there. Come down. There's so many gorgeous scenes in this. So love it. And then we have, and God made two in his image and placed them in the paradise of Eden. Evil tempted Eve with the apple. She then offered it to Adam and they sinned. And then we have the gorgeous lion. He is so beautiful. Stitching his mane, I kept thinking it was all the wrong colours, but it actually works really, really well. And then, right, that is now touching the ceiling of my house. Oh gosh. Okay, and then we have the bottom seam. And the bottom seam is full coverage. That green, oh, she's a commitment, but she would, oh, I love seeing it full in. Okay, so originally I did part motifs and started it on the green grass because I knew the green grass was going to be a mission. So there's two shades of green, and I did one pretty much till about here, and then came back and started filling in the second one. Then more motifs, then moving along. The grass goes on the angle this way, all the way down. The pond, I wanted it to have the water movement, and I didn't want to go sideways because you'd get straight lines, so I've come diagonally the opposite way, so it looks like the wind's blowing and blowing the waves of the pond. Just so many lovely things. I did take out what it had at the bottom and I put in my name, because this is one that will be passed down as a family heirloom. She's just so beautiful. So there you have it, guys. And they sinned. All done. Absolutely gorgeous. So as you can see, I got a piece of acid-free foam board. She's long enough. Just got to trim it down to size, and then I will square it up and lace it, and then I'll get it to the framer. It probably will not be framed until after Christmas, just because it's a busy time for me. It's an expensive time, as everybody knows, with Christmas. And yeah, I'll get it ready and prepped, and we'll take it down for a quote, and then we will go from there. But I do believe it won't go to the framer really until January next year, which is fine by me because Christmas is going to be up soon, so I'm not going to have the space. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you everybody for your support while I've been stitching this. I know it's been a long process and you guys have seen it video after video after video. But it's also been nice to see its growth and see, you know, some weeks or fortnights there was lots of stitching, some fortnights not so much. But one stitch at a time, she's got that baby finished. I'm so pleased. Okay, one more pause and we'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. Right, Christmas stitching. After I finished And They Sinned on Sunday night, I looked at my samplers and I couldn't settle on actually stitching on one. So I thought, okay, push aside, finish the gigantic sampler, big accomplishment. Pick up a small. So I picked up some Christmas stitching. I've done Christmas stitching every morning on some ornaments, just trying to get some of my already started ones done and completed, and I've also sneakily started another couple. You just have to. You just do. It's the rules. I don't know about you, but it's the rules in my house anyway. Okay, so what have I been working on for Christmas? For Christmas, I have been working on Prairie Schooler Santa's 12 Days of Christmas number 3, and I'm almost done. Yeah, aren't we? Oops, we need to go that way. Okay, so there is number 3. Santa needs some back stitch and his hat finished. The last hen needs her top half, her head put on, and that will be number 3 done. And I'm not sure what this mark is yet, but I will, once I finish stitching, I'll try and get that out. And if it doesn't come out, I'm going to be framing these making them into ornaments pretty close to that anyway, and I think I'll be able to hide that. So there is number 3, a scrap of 40 count, and using the called for DMC threads. And yes, sometimes I do use a little wee hoop, but those hoop marks will stretch and iron out quite easily when you give it a good pull. But I've only just taken it out of the hoop because I was stitching on it yesterday morning and naughtily left the hoop on. Don't get those marks permanently if you don't leave your hoop on. So, 1 and 2 are finished. 3 almost. That'll be finished tomorrow. And number 4, I haven't put any more threads into yet, but that's next on the wish to be completed out of the Prairie Scholars. Okay. Do the finishes last. Do I have a cover photo? Yes, I do. Okay, so out of the ornament book from Jingle Ball last year, as you know, the 12 designers all did put in sorry for the rattling of the paper, a pattern for the ornament book. I love the ornament book. There's so many cool designs in there. And this time around, I am doing Peace on Earth from Hands On Designs, which is like 2 doves, the bells, and the saying, and this is gorgeous. I'm doing mine on a piece of Midnight, 40 count from Country Stitch. And here, let me get it to sit on there. Here is where I'm at. So this is a new start. I have still got to add some colour, more colour into the dove here. The bells need a little bit more finishing. Of course, there's Peace on Earth to be finished, and then the bird gets mirrored over this side as well. So I would say about halfway through, just under halfway through on that, and I can't wait. Another lovely ornament for my trees. Oh, gorgeous. So yes, if it's your first time going to Jingle Ball this year coming, there are lots of patterns. There's some freebies. There's some, you buy the Jingle Ball book if you want to, and you get 12 Christmas designs to work on. If you buy, you know, you can go and buy exclusive patterns from the designers that's only available at Jingle Ball. You've also got your classes that if you buy your ticket, you can buy the classes. Those patterns and the classes are normally not sold separately in the shops, so you have, if you want them, you have to buy the class, which is fine. It's always interesting. I've made pairs. I am definitely still doing Annie B's pair class because I love those Christmas ones. I have my red fabric ready. I'm debating on my colour. Sorry, just got a piece of hair there. I'm debating on my thread colour, but I'll wait until I've got my pattern, and then I'll see what she calls for and decide whether I'm doing that or something different. But yes, lots of lovely ornaments. I can't wait. I get together with friends here, Zoom with friends in another city in New Zealand, and we all have tickets to Jingle Ball. That's one of the commitments of it. But we get to Zoom and chat and all of that, and stitch for a bit, and then watch some of the Jingle Ball. And then, you know, that's Saturday for us, and then on the Sunday I just spend it with Jingle Ball on all day and just stitching. Have the weekend off, so can't wait. Okay, my next whip was another new start, and this one has been lent to me from a friend. It's been sitting in my stash for over a year, not started, so very naughty. I have now started it, and I will have it finished hopefully over the next fortnight, but we'll see. It's called Letters for Santa from Brenda Gervais, and I love this. I've loved it ever since it came out, and then of course stopped being able to get it quite easily and didn't have it, but yes, my friend had it and lent it to me, so we'll be coming back to her this year. Now I am stitching mine on a piece of, my brain's just gone blank. I think it is, one moment please, because I know I cut it off the bottom of one of the samplers. This one. What am I stitching Ann on? I am stitching, not Ann, yes, Ann Morrison on Antique Lace from number 12 Stitch Co. So that is what I am stitching Letters for Santa on. And here is my start right at the very top. So I've done the outside, come along, and I wanted to get to this guy here. And this is him. He is so cute. So I'm not sure, I mean, he's halfway, so it could be a bigger ornament, or I might make it into like this. I've got heaps of ticking. I'm just not sure yet how I want to finish him, or I might make this the ornament one, and I might stitch it again and make a bigger cushion, or a bigger one for the easel. We'll see. But I think it's definitely going to be stitched twice. Or I may just stitch Santa twice to make him, just him, into an ornament with maybe a reindeer and a tree beside him. We might do that if this becomes too big. We'll see, but loving it, absolutely loving it. I am doing mine between a mix of the called for colours and DMC threads, because I'm not going to buy a classic Colourworks for 100 stitches. But tight like that, you know. Okay, and then that's, and I'm still working on, and I've left it in my work bag in the car, Merry Christmas from Forest Embroidery. I have made a little bit of progress on that as well, but we'll get there. We will get there with that. Okay, so I do have 3 ornaments that I finished stitching in the last fortnight. So I'm just going to take this one out of its bag. I've got to pop it open, sorry. Okay, so the first one I've finished stitching, these are not in the order that I finished them in, was Christmas cookies from Cottage Needleworks. This is an older little wee chart, but a classic. Absolutely gorgeous. And when I was flicking through, I didn't realise I hadn't stitched it yet. I was like, crazy, why have I not stitched it? And honestly, it took me 2 mornings before work to stitch it. And here's my Christmas cookies. Just beautiful. I've done it with the DMC threads, and this is on eucalyptus from Country Stitch in New Zealand. I love this. It's a minty colour. I can't get it to kind of show the colour correctly. But it's a minty green, definitely like a eucalyptus leaf. Gorgeous. So that's going to be a nice, lovely little ornament finish. Not sure yet if that's going on one of the main trees or going to go on the gingerbread tree. Probably one of the main trees, I think. Okay, my other 2, and I'm going to show you them together, the patterns, because these are 2 that I purchased, one last year, one the year before, from Heartstring Samplery at the Jingle Ball. Okay, so the first one was, I know they're black and white, sorry guys, Be Minty. And this is gorgeous. And the second one, because they use very similar colours, Be Spicy. Now on these, Beth put them on 2 different colour fabrics. I have kind of a minty one like I've done, and then a brownie one for this. But I've chosen to put mine on the same fabric as I just put the Christmas cookies on. So here you go. Here is Be Minty, stitched with the called for DMC threads, and this one is Be Spicy. So another 2 little wee ornaments stitched and ready to be assembled. I love how these guys are turning out. They're so cute. And they're not that big. These are, you know, pinky finger size. But I love having different size ornaments on my tree. Little wee ones, bigger ones. These Christmas cookies again. Love that. So there we go. And I only have a 50 by 35. So a fat quarter. And I can still, that's just folded over, and I can still get another 2 high of ornaments and another one, so about another 9 ornaments out of this fabric and stuff. So I'll be hunting for something else to use with this fabric, but it's a great way to buy them fat quarter size in colors so you can use them for ornaments. Okay, that is all of my stitching, I believe. Let me just peruse. Yes, that is all of the stitching. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a weaving bit done. I'm so blown away to have finished one of my 5 samplers. That was my goal. I did actually want that finished before the end of this month, so I'm really pleased with that. We'll work on the next 4. They will, and I will start bringing in some of the other samplers that I'll start looking at what I want to get done. I have a couple of birthday ones that I started last birthday, which is in January, and I am not even quarter of the way through those. But while my stitchy Christmas bug is here, I'm between the 4 and the Christmas stitching. That is where my concentration will be, rather than working on those. If it means I don't have a birthday start this year, I don't have a birthday start this year, and that is fine, because I have two that I could work on. So it might be a birthday whip cell instead. Maybe that's what we'll do. Instead of a new start for my birthday, anything that is not finished, that was a birthday start, we will work on those and they will become to be completed, so that we can then get the whip count down, which never worries me anyway. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening me ramble on about my stitching. You all know I enjoy my stitching. I love sharing my journey with you guys, and I appreciate all the likes and the comments and the thumbs up that you guys give. That really helps. It helps the algorithm. It helps more people find my channel, which is really lovely. I've met some absolute amazing people through doing this, and it's so awesome. I love my regular commenters and my new commenters. Just thank you, thank you, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Really, really appreciate it. Next time you see me, hopefully in a couple of weeks, I will definitely have started decorating. Only because this is the busiest time of year for me at work, so I need to make sure that I get everything done. So I do like to start a little bit earlier. It's my granddaughter's birthday, so we have to have the birthday completely finished before we're allowed to start decorating. Apparently, we know now when Nan does it, so we have to be very careful. So that's fine. We'll just it'll be done. It'll be done as of next week, when my first day off. I will be probably starting with the garlands and maybe one of the trees. I'll leave the two big main trees to the end, but I have the other rooms and all of that to work through. So yeah, lots of things to do. Lots of stitching goals that I want to achieve. Still have secret stitching I'm working on as well for gifts and that, which, you know, it's creeping up too. But we'll get there. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Happy stitching. One stitch at a time. We'll get these projects done. Bye. Okay, so I have put the last stitches into And They Sinned by Examplars from the Heart. This was stitched on 40 count hog bristle from Fox and Rabbit, using the cooled for sampler threads and DMC threads. This project was started in 2023 for my first ever stash sampler starts, and was finished today on the 12th of October 2025. She is my longest sampler, or tallest sampler, that I've ever stitched or finished so far. I have a couple of band samplers, but she is gorgeous. So I'm going to zoom in and we're going to have a look. Start at the top. Sorry about the shadows. And there you have it. Isn't it gorgeous?